Senator Rubio, this is Jeff Phillips. He's an attorney. He says he likes you and Donald Trump. Still has not made up his mind. Jeff, welcome.
Hi, Jeff. Hi. Dr. Ben Carson mentioned before you came out here that the GOP may not have learned its lesson in 2012 regarding infighting, especially in the primary. This primary has been as contentious as any I've seen in the 45 years I've been watching politics. The question is this. There's going to be a lot of healing. There's going to have to be a lot of bridge building after this primary, no matter who wins it. And I would like to know what you would do and what you have done in the past to show that you have the ability not only to unify the Republican Party, but unify the American people well enough to win the general election?
That's a great question. First of all, I think we need to remember that in this country we're blessed, that we have, in this country, we solve through elections what other countries solve through civil wars. In essence, in America, just to have some perspective here, the worst thing that happens to someone in the political process is you lose an election. They say nasty things about you and they run a bad ad about you. In other countries, if you lose an election, you go to jail or you go into exile. So we're blessed to be living in a republic where we have strong disagreements about the future of our country, but they're settled at the ballot box, not at the tip of a gun or a spear. That said, you're right that if we want to win an election, we're going to ultimately have to come together. And I believe I already provide that. There's a reason why virtually every candidate in this field has attacked me, because I run a campaign that I believe appeals to the broad sector of the Republican electorate. Now, they don't all agree with me on every issue, but we basically campaign to every voter in the Republican coalition. But my promise to you, if I'm the nominee, is I'm not just going to unify the Republican Party, I'm going to grow it. We're going to take our message to people that haven't voted for Republicans in a long time. And they haven't voted for us because the left and the Democrats have told them that the Republican Party is the party of the rich people, and the Democrats are the party of the working people. That's one of the biggest lies in American politics. The Democratic Party, which today is led, apparently according to the polls, by a avowed Democratic socialist, has become a far-left party. And they're the party of big government. Big government hurts people that are trying to make it. Because the bigger the government, the more the people that influence government win at the expense of everybody else. Look at Dodd-Frank. It passed. The big banks are bigger today than ever. The regional banks and the community banks are getting wiped out. So we have a message, and we're going to take it. We're going to take our message to people living paycheck to paycheck. You know why I know I can take that message to them? Because I grew up paycheck to paycheck. Because my wife and I have lived paycheck to paycheck. Because I've written a check on Wednesday knowing that the money doesn't get there till Friday, so I date it Saturday. I've had to do that. I know what that feels like. We're going to take our message to young Americans struggling under thousands of dollars in student loan debt. We're going to be the party of the single mom that is struggling to raise her children on $11 an hour, because we're going to be the party that makes it easier for her to go back to school and get the degree that allows her to find a better paying job. We're going to take our message to parents raising their children in the 21st century, because my wife and I are raising 4 children right now, and we know how hard it is to instill in our children the values that they teach in our church instead of the values that the culture tries to ram down our throat. My goal is not just to unify the party, but to grow it, and ultimately to unify our country. That doesn't mean everyone's going to agree with me on everything, but I'm going to be a president for all Americans. Even the people that don't vote for me, I'm going to cut their taxes too. I'm going to be a president for all Americans, because an American president has to love the American people, even those that don't love you back. And that's what I intend to do.